And as always, timestamps exist in case you just want to skip forward, because we're just going to do one entry. I'll link probably a link to the rest of the races I did in the description of this video, and there's other things I wanted to say, but now that we're here, we might as well go through. I guess I can show just really quickly. So I really should not have spread out my aces like this, but I mean, there's not really much else to say about it. What you see is what you get. And my Simply Rudolph is kind of just an anchor in case things go wrong, but otherwise. And yes, that is Gatekept you saw on Gold Chip, but if you are watching this video, you've likely already seen my day one. So, let's just go in now. This is pretty much a few minutes after reset regardless, but as I switch my things around here and do this properly, never mind, I lied. We'll do our best to survive here. Actually, that was not the Gold Chip, it was this one, but yeah, just to explain, I wanted my Simply Rudolph to be a late surger. Didn't happen, so off I go. And let's finally get destroyed by it. We'll see what happens. It's not impossible to fix your stuff in the middle of Champions Meet, but we'll see what happens. And then yes, day one I was quite lucky on my first entry. The other entries were less lucky, except for the last one, which is also 5 wins, but essentially there are some good things that happen. And I queued in, I think on day one I queued in, if I didn't already mention it, I queued in like literally like 10 to 20 minutes after Champions Meet started, so cross your fingers and RNG. For the most part, it's pretty good. A lot of people did pretty well from what I saw, but as we join this time, oh buddy boy, time to see what we have on our plate. We'll take a look here and there, but not for long, because yeah, I gotta get through to do my stuff. So yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm missing medium S, no acceleration skills, but I mean, you gotta work with what you got, and if you're free to play, sometimes RNG, like in my case, it doesn't work out, and you just get really sad. So, but yeah, we'll take a quick look here. Why not? Why am I looking here, by the way? Yeah, usually 2 to 3 Uma Musume. If I don't see a nice nature, if I see a nice nature, I'll look at the nice nature as well, but otherwise, I mean, not really much else to see. So, without further ado, as we take a quick little peek here, just to show stuff, and we'll go off, and we'll see what happens. So, people, and I saw that Silent Suzuka, and yes, we're setting ourselves to vertical, or horizontal for a moment, but in probably the last 2 or 3 races, I'll set it back to vertical. The only reason I play on vertical is to make thumbnails, basically, because you get better camera angles for the races with vertical, oddly enough. At least I feel so. I think you miss out on angles. If I'm wrong, someone can please let me know as we're sitting here on the loading screen. But otherwise, as we move forward here, yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, things are asynchronous, but you can also send emotes, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, we're just going to skip to the beginning of the race, and let's hope that things happen. I'm going to check the thing really quickly. Okay, yeah, just making sure. But as we move on here, I've noticed that Gold Chip has been getting a lot of hate. I mean, you can't really... I main Gold Chip, but I understand at the same time why things happen the way they do at times. So, I mean, Gold Chip does perform relatively well. I've seen... obviously, if you have the resources and you're running a Gold Chip that's properly built, you're just gonna smash the competition 90% of the time, and for everyone else who's not running Gold Chip, and maybe missing, like, say, an acceleration skill, maybe missing the green skills, left-handed, firm conditions, spring runner, yeah, you're gonna lose to a Gold Chip here and there, but aside from those situations, unless you're directly countering Gold Chip, or you're fielding Haru Urara to do some specific strat stuff, or just flexing, then yeah, you'll see a lot of Gold Chip, basically. Shrug. But otherwise, as we sit here, we're really looking at, yeah, the TM Opera O and the Air Groove. We'll see how the Silent Suzuka does. We only have one front runner, it seems, so well, that's exactly what I want. Now, whether we perform well is a completely different story. But boy, can things go wrong really fastly. I think the worst are the oof. I've gotten oofed aside from just a few lengths or distances. I think I missed 1 or 2 races in. It was an Agnes Tachyon that I almost beat, and I felt really bad. But I had a low chance of losing that anyway. This one's a pretty much a coin flip for me, that I think. Yes, medium S and acceleration skills are very important here, so I have a higher chance, but nothing is ever so certain. Although, if you're Gold Chip and I don't have pumping iron, or let's pump some iron. Again, my rationale is that I'm betting against myself, essentially, to never be in 6th place. Even though that doesn't make sense, because you'll say, well, Jordan, aren't you going to be, like, less than or aren't you going to be further than 6th place anyway? The answer to that question is kind of. because I've noticed that sometimes my gold chip goes to 5th or 4th before Let's Pump Some Iron can proc. But usually, yes, you should be using Let's Pump Some Iron on your gold chip or end closers. I'm just betting against myself, and that's why I didn't pick it. So I would have picked Shooting for Victory and left red chip on this gold chip. So, yeah, also, their emotes. But anywho. Yeah, nothing much else to see here. We'll move on to the next race after we look at the magazine again. Although you can do it pretty much before. I wonder if it updates after. No, it doesn't. So you pretty might as well just look at things now. You can also look at more details there, but let's just move on to the next race. Nothing really much else to see here. But yes, if I do link a video down below, it'll be unlisted and it'll show the other entries I do. I think I went 17 wins overall day 1, but again, that's when, and I'm really interested to see how the future champions meeting goes, because obviously as Musume goes on in global server, less trainers will be playing, so we'll get kind of we'll basically get the people who are more dedicated to Musume to continue on. And people who come back, obviously have the resources, you're just going to come back. It's not like you have to be too sweaty unless you're just going for like, 80-90% or above win rates. So I'm shrugging in real life, as I say. Aside from those, you should be having a good time in Champions Meet. By the way, that's why I can't check here. Ogre Cap, 2 nice natures, so that's a bad thing for me. And then another Ogre Cap, because Ogre Cap is good and comfortable for this. Non-medium A, no acceleration, but yeah, 2 nice natures here. Depends on these. We'll take a look at these nice natures really quickly. No end closer, so my... Yeah, no end closer hitters, and, well, really, unless both nice natures, because I'm not fielding one of my own, unless there are 2 nice natures hitting end closers, I don't foresee myself any bad things happening. Aside from that, though, yeah, so this Ogre Cap looks more likely, no medium S, but we'll see. We'll see. Because for sure, I think, yeah, if there are 2 debuffers hitting my Ogre Cap and Simply Rudolph, I will still peter out at the end, but because I'm running gold chip, and I care a lot for training my gold chip, then I usually try to make sure I have a lot more stamina than required, because I'm trying to avoid heavy debuffs. Now, if there are 3 debuffs because they can stack, I'm pretty sure they can stack. I keep seeing that they can stack left, right, and center here. But you get the point. If they do stack, then when there are 3 total debuffers in a race, then I will suffer as someone not running debuffs as well. Which, the fact that I'm not running any debuffers, because it's not always Nice Nature, sometimes it's Grass Wonder, and my gold chip gets Rust, but sometimes it can be someone else. It can even be Simply Rudolph at times, but, yeah, unless I'm not running one myself, then that kind of messes with the... That messes with the lobby a bit. I know it messes with the lobby a bit because some people will have more stamina and some won't. But for the most part, like 95% of the trainers I ran into that are closer to more optimal builds have enough stamina to like not care. Although that's not true. Because, yeah, no, actually that's not true. Because even if you're Agnes Tachyon, unless you're running at least 3.5-ish rare gold skills, if there are 3 big debuffers, which is not likely, by the way, but unless there are 3 big debuffers hitting your team, that you're not gonna usually run into a problem. Which is the other thing I wanted to talk about. So I did want to run, if I had the luxury, I would have tried to also run 2 debuffers and 1 ace. That does mean the 1 ace has to pass a lot of wisdom checks, but shrug. That's just something I wanted to try out. Unless, again, before someone tells me that the debuffs can't stack, which would be really strange. But, because I swear from reputable sources, multiple, that it happens. But as we get into the final leg here, and hopefully our gold chip doesn't peter out, because everyone's being hit by stamina. Even my gold chips are being hit by stamina debuffs. My gold chip is by far the one who has the most stamina on my team. As we're looking at these 3 Ogre Caps and hoping none of them really... Well, they all basically Triumphant Pulse right into each other's backs as we sit here, but it's actually probably going to happen. I'm going to see 3 velocity ups around this point. Actually, no, 2, if nothing else. So there they are. They're the 2 Ogre Caps using Triumphant Pulse. Here's my Ogre Cap doing Triumphant Pulse, but it doesn't really matter, because I think we're just looking at our gold chip to try and pull forward and stay forward. So, without further ado, off we go. Acceleration skills, really, 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 really important. Again, for those who don't know completely why that's the case and why gold chip does so well there, it's because when you... Especially for this race in particular, when you're running acceleration perks, end closers have, at base, based on how they run compared to other strategies, they reach a higher max top speed. So if you take 2 Musume that have the same target speed, their strategies will be one of the major differing factors in who gets to a higher max speed. So basically, end closers will have a higher max speed on average than front runners. But the whole thing about front runners is they take a big enough distance in the lead so that the end closer can't catch up, and 2, they usually have skills to push them even more forward. For example, in Body and Mind, Silent Suzuka using her unique perk. I keep saying Silent Suzuka, but she's one of the prevalent examples. I think Kuren-chan was also a prevalent example. This person really loved their Kuren-chan, so let's find out. And then they're also running Nice Nature to debuff. But, let's see. Actually, out of curiosity, I'm going to check to see. So there's Medium S, there's 2 Redshift, Sky High Tail Step. We'll see if that procs. If it does, I mean, Homestretch Haste is also gonna destroy. So, yeah. So we hope for our best. Although it's a pace Kuren-chan, but obviously, the whole point is that they're gonna fly forward and stay forward. So. And that's a Nice Nature. I just want to check one more thing, unless there's anyone else. No. Oh, no, they're running, yeah. So this person's running 2 debuffers, 1 ace. So the only thing that can probably happen is that their ace for some reason does not proc a lot of their skills, aside from the unique. But looks okay. If I were to place my bets right here, right now, I would say I probably lose this one. But before we do that, let's switch this back to vertical. It's not going to switch to vertical right now, but I just want to do it for the next 2 races, so I have some thumbnail material. But off we go. So the other reason, as we get my Assembly Rudolph gets a late start as well, but the main reason I wanted to stick with my Assembly Rudolph wanted to be late surger was to try and pass up on more Musume, so she can use her unique skill, and if she passes my own Ogre Cap, then Ogre Cap can use Triumphant Pulse as well, pretty much. So that's all I'm trying to say. I think is Grass Wanderer end closer? I didn't check, but if she is, that I am going to be hit by debuffs. But unless I'm getting hit by both debuffers, my gold ship exists here, both as an ace and my Oshi Musume, but also to be the one who has the most stamina. So really, even though yes, gold ship is mostly going to be the ace in this legend race, it's not like I pumped her full of speed, as opposed to Ogre Cap. My Ogre Cap is the one who has more speed, so if there are no debuffers, my Ogre Cap will triumph, and then Assembly Rudolph is kind of in between, because I think my Assembly Rudolph has Redshift and Shooting for Victory, which neither of which procced in the last race, but that's because my wits is like 300 and below, so... which is kind of normal. Again, as I've mentioned before, I would rather keep my wits low and get 1200 speed and hit the stamina caps than reaching the minimum stamina, maybe missing 50-100 speed, but then getting my wits up by 300. Although wits is important as well. If you have more wits than someone who is at the same stat level, aside from with every other stat, you will perform better on average, but it is still an RNG stat, both in the... I keep forgetting what it's called. Both in the position keeping and the skill usage. But as we go here, my gold ship did not use Redshift, so sadness is going to happen. So basically, I'm hoping my Assembly Rudolph somehow pulls forward, although she's probably running out of stamina, so not much is going to happen here. There's Dominator, there's All Seeing Eyes, so Rip Velocity, and unless some miracle happens, yeah, my gold ship did not proc her acceleration skills. We're getting it close, but it's not going to happen. So 200 meters left, it's a bit far. I'm still betting I'd lose here, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, we're far back, by the way, just by looking at that camera angle. So, without further ado, off we go. Get close, though. An extra 50 meters would have done it, but obviously the point is that Dominator hits the velocity, which is what you wanted to see, which is what I wanted to see, too. If I had Dominator, basically, that race would have been a lot better for me, but... and then I had to put my Assembly Rudolph in late surger, but shrug. Another way to say it is that, yeah, if you're running a proper build, you have a very high chance of beating me, because I'm not... I am by far, I only have the bare minimum, medium S, 1200 speed, 1 acceleration skill, which is not enough. Also, yeah, my gold ship not proccing her acceleration, not proccing Redshift hurt as well. That probably would have won me the race. Or on the flip side, that Kuren-chan not proccing her acceleration skill, but that's enough. Moving on, there's a Maruzensky I see, and a Nice Nature as well, and Great Mood, but we're gonna look at the thing. So gold ship and Maruzensky, and off we go. So without further ado, let's take a look. Front runner Maruzensky, missing speed, no, medium S. Shooting for Victory though, so she will accelerate, but how long she'll stay in the lead is up for question. Let's pump some iron. Perfect. Medium S? Yes. So this gold chip is also going to put some work in. And I have no debuff, so I can't stop this gold chip even if I wanted to. So basically just hoping my gold chip pulls forward again. This is going to be a gold chip race, I'm willing to bet on. My Ogre Cap and Simply Rudolph are definitely going to run out of stamina. Everyone else looks like they have enough stamina, but we'll find out. I think everyone pretty much has Swinging Maestro, so it's also going to be a question of whether or not people use their Swinging Maestro. That's another important part. But as we get this race started here, yeah, being one of the trainers who does not bring a debuffer at all is going to ultimately be bad for me, because it's not like I try to counter not having a debuffer on my own team. The point of running 3 aces is that you have guarantees against skills not proccing, which was not the case in the previous race, which Simply Rudolph also doesn't have enough stamina, so sure. I thought she has Gourmand, though. Maybe she didn't have Gourmand? Anywho, moving on. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Basically, I'm looking first for the acceleration skill, which Marozensky is always going to proc. But then we're also looking for everyone else using acceleration skills, including my own team. And then right after that, we see if anyone else uses things like Homestretch Haste, in Body and Mind, so on and so forth. In Body and Mind being, you know, if it procs, you're going to see that boost. Now, will you get it fast enough for it to matter? Depends on when it activates, but that's why we're watching the Champions Meeting race now. As Marozensky, frontrunner, gonna be the thing. I think we only have one frontrunner. If that's so, then we have a chance with Ogre Cap and Simply Rudolph as long as they don't run out of stamina. As for these nice natures, debuffing people left, right, and center, yeah, it's gonna be, yeah, if nothing else, it's gonna be a gold chip race unless I get blocked, or any gold chip gets blocked, really, because that is something that's likely to happen as we're stuck on the inside here, probably getting blocked by ourselves. So, yeah, if I had to put my chips down, I say we might actually lose this one as well, because the other gold chip is going to pull forward as she's swinging to the outside, and unless my gold chip can break through the inside, we're not going to see much else. Marozensky can stay in front if she managed to proc her acceleration, which she did. Well, I mean, no, it's her own, so she's going to proc it, but as for everyone else, Simply Rudolph using both, which is what I want to see. Now, whether or not she has the stamina is a completely different question. There's an Ogre Cap in front, but if she falls in behind, maybe if she has enough stamina, she'll stay in front. My gold chip currently still behind, being blocked as well. The other gold chip pulling up forward, and this Ogre Cap is going to only stay ahead. We're really looking at the gold chip here. My gold chip is finally kind of breaking free, but then there's still people in front, so it's kind of looking bad. It's looking really, really bad, by the way. So medium S, really, really important. On top of 1200, this Ogre Cap though blocking this gold chip, so that's also funny to see. Basically, and if you haven't already seen, my Simply Rudolph also managed to usually get top 3 a lot of the time, but not really win a lot. So that's something to look at as I move forward here. Basically, having more stamina, my Simply Rudolph would probably have done a lot better, but it was really hard for me to even just get to the stamina requirements, because I think I had to do the Simply Rudolph more than a few times. But as we move on here, yeah, not really much else. Again, this is kind of what I expected when I ran into more proper Musume's. Again, I'm not trying to insult any trainer, but in day one, again, missing medium aptitude S, on top of missing acceleration, on top of not hitting the speed cap, all those three, and I've said this before, but I do believe Musume is a game of a lot of small variables working in tandem together to cause a result, and if nothing else, increase the odds of things happening. Again, by this time, a lot of eagle-eyed trainers or trainers good at observing or taking in this information will already tell at a glance who is most likely to win. Again, any weird things can happen, like late start rush into getting blocked is a very common example. It's a very extreme example. Often you don't see that happen too much, especially with someone with a lot of power, but as we run into an Ogre Cap Marozensky who's likely very properly built, we'll see what happens. So, yeah, again, you don't need to hit the Steve cap. You could be like 3-10 speed off if as long as you have a medium S, and we'll see what happens. Let's see here. 1 rare, 807. Yeah, that's good, more than good enough. Again, I'm not running a debuffer, so I'm only hurting myself by not running one. And this Marozensky, 7-7s, lucky 7s, and no M, but shooting for victory, and that's really going to be all. She can stay in front, one front runner, but we'll see what happens. And then just making sure there is, yeah, so the same person running Marozensky, Ogre Cap is also running a nice nature, but not really hitting too much. Although the rare debuff skills are the only ones you really are looking for. The other ones are a nice bonus in case you can snag someone who's kind of in that no man's land of stamina. But other than that, this is gonna be another gold chip race for me. That being said, though, so my own strategy is not going to be working because my Simply Rudolph and Ogre Cap don't have enough stamina. Although my Ogre Cap would have more stamina than Simply Rudolph. The unfortunate part is that it's still not enough, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So, if nothing else, Ogre Cat will be doing a lot of carrying. Simply Rudolph will just keep running out, which is why I kind of wanted to make her a late surger in case she can dodge the eyes. But that's just not what happened, so... At this point, basically, yes, my Simply Rudolph is kind of a dead pick here. I should have just replaced her, but at this point, just moving on to days 2 and then round 2, and I'm guaranteed to get into the finals, we're just going to stick with my Simply Rudolph. She has won one race, so it's not like she did no work. And if nothing else, she can stick around to block people, but... yeah, I do regret not trying to build a debuffer, but I was already kind of putting my chips into Simply Rudolph beforehand, even before Champions Meet, because I knew I wanted to use her to do sparks and whatnot. But otherwise, as we go back to the race here, yeah, Marzenski's gonna stay in front. The wits being low also is gonna hurt me, because a lot of the time I'm probably not going to, my Musume are probably not going to manage their positions well, aside from, you know, procs in their skills here and there, but there's not even a lot. It's mainly just anchors away from gold chip. As for anything else, I actually haven't seen Go Home Specialist proc too many times, but as long as she proc that and Swinging Maestro, which I wasn't paying attention to, maybe we're fine. We're hitting the final corner here, or we're hitting the corner here, so let's see who procs their acceleration skills, and basically that's who you can assume will win. So, again, Marzenski guaranteed to do so. There's a Dominator from that Agnes Tachyon hitting people, but we'll see what happens. Nemesis from that Naruto Taishin, Redshift from an Ogre Cap. I don't know if that was my own, but otherwise I'm just looking for a Gold Chip to do her thing. Ogre Cap can do stuff, but really I'm just looking at Gold Chip, which was already going in front forward. I think we get debuffed there really quickly there, but unless this Marzenski procs like some kind of homestretch haste that I didn't see, yeah, not much is going to happen. My Ogre Cap may be getting blocked here, but we're really looking at Marzenski Gold Chip. Could be Ogre Cap if I misjudge the speed here, but yeah, for the most part, it's going to be a Gold Chip. Ogre Cap in second then? Yeah, Ogre Cap second, Marzenski third, and off we go. Ow, finally won a race. Although, no, did we win the first one? Yeah, I think we won the first one. So we're like win, lose, lose, win. But anywho. I don't think I checked this. I'll check it at the end, just to, if nothing else, to look at the records over here, which is what I really want to look at most of the time, but yeah. But yeah, that Marzenski or mainly the other Ogre Cap could have went out. I don't know what happened, because I couldn't see that far back, and I wasn't paying that much attention, but could have just gotten blocked by my own Simply Rudolph or anyone else who was in front. So, as we take our 3 wins here, we already proceeded to Class A, or to the A group, but whether or not I'll survive in that A group, we'll see when the second round starts. But otherwise, yeah, I was going to do the next ones, but I'll leave those in the video below. So if you want to see anything else, please let me know. I'll at least show these at the very end here. I'm pretty much going to stick with these 3 throughout the whole Champions Meet. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But otherwise, yeah, my win rate is to be expected. I actually expected to only get 50%, but we'll see what actually happens. Again, the races aren't over yet, so... shrug. Whether I get to final, well, no, well, I'm going. If you get to Group A, I'm pretty sure you get to finals. Correct me if I'm wrong, but otherwise, yeah, not really much else to say here. If you have anything to say, you know what to do. If you want to support me, you know what to do, and I will keep yapping on so fast that it sounds like I'm trying to be a commentator, but I'm not. But yeah, without further ado, thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Bye!